Hey, it's Greg, and I'm here to do your Monday Night Live to talk about the top foods you should be eating to help you drop 2 dress sizes, okay? So these are every Monday, 7 o'clock without fail. We do these lives in this group. So if you're watching live, comment live. If you're watching on the replay, then hit replay. All right, so give it a couple of seconds and I'm going to dive in, get you rocking and rolling. All right, so I've just come back from a little weekend away. It was Thursday to Sunday. I was working away with my coach, and it was an awesome weekend and loved it, loved every minute of it. So I'm a little bit wired, a little bit buzzing off the back of that weekend because it was awesome. It was like, I can't say it enough. It was the most awesome weekend. Chilling out with fellow fit pros, people who are doing the things that I do with clients. And yeah, it's freaking amazing. So I'm just gonna get this show on the road and we're ready to rock. So let's just see who we got live, who's in, who's not. Cool. All right, let's get ready to rumble. So I'm just gonna talk about how I work with clients and what I do, and how I help people lose 2 dress sizes without having to give up the foods that they love, right? So let me just give you the backstory as to how we got here. The backstory is simple. It was this. I've got sisters, I've got a mum, obviously, who really struggled with losing weight, right? They've never been able to crack the weight loss code, okay? So I saw all the stuff that they were getting, and it was all like this. You got to cut this, you got to cut that, you got to not do this, you can't do this, you can't do this to lose weight. And frankly, it's a little rubbish, right? And you get all this marketing stuff, and this is the big thing that holds you all back from losing weight, right? It's all of these diets that tell you can't have this, you can't have that, you're not allowed to do this. And what happens is you just get stuck, right? You try it for so long and then you're like, oh, I give up, okay? So if that's happened to you, where you've like tried a new diet and you've just given up, just hit the heart button so I know that I'm talking to the right people. Just give me some hearts so I know that that people are on the same page as me, right? So let's get this show on the road. So we're gonna have some fun. So in my Revolution program, so even today I had a message from a client, Lisa, who is now finally under 10 stone, right? She's under 10 stone. She hasn't been that weight for years, right? And you're gonna ask me, Greg, well, what was the diet that she took on to get the results that she got, right? And here's the thing, okay? Most of you know roughly what you should be eating to actually get results, right? It's going to be a high protein, okay, diet, and you're going to have to eat your vegetables and maybe some fruit, okay? You can have your carbs, you can have your wine, you can have your chocolate, but the big thing that nobody really understands is that all of you are individual and you all need these things in different levels in order to get the results and the body you want, okay? So some people can tolerate higher protein. Some people need kind of moderate protein. Some people are going to be higher carb. Some people are going to be lower carb, okay? So ultimately, the big thing you need, first of all, is a calorie deficit. Like, we can talk about it till the cows come home, but you all need a calorie deficit. Now, what happens for most people is that they go way too low in the calorie deficit. They're like, yeah, MyFitnessPal, 1,200 calories, and I'm gonna smash this out of the park, right? And that always fails because we get to about 2 weeks in and they're like, oh my God, I'm hungry, okay? So one of the things I said I'm gonna share with you today is how I get my clients to eat more food and still get awesome results. But I'll come to that in a minute. So number 1, don't slash your calories too low. Very simple. Yeah, don't go super low calorie. So in my Revolution program, what we do is I assess the person's ability to move, train, and eat. Look at their history of how they've dieted up and down. Is the metabolism singing or is it crying? Okay, and then we produce the blueprint, my individual client blueprint, to help them get the results. Okay, and what it shows them is literally this. I can literally tell them, right, hey Lena, I can literally tell them, right, you need this much protein, this much carbs, and then underneath it, I tell them, right, this is how many of each different types of food that they should have at each different meal to make sure they get awesome results, right? Because it's so hard to be trying to track your food and, you know, you're tracking your food, but you don't know if you're in the right proportions, you know, how much of this food is going to hit this many calories. That's all laid out for you in my Revolution program, right? So number one was calorie deficit. Number two is you need to understand what's in the right proportions for you. That's going to be different from the mate down the road. It's going to be different from this person at work, okay? Because you're all going to have a different need in terms of your nutrition plan, all right? So just hit the heart button. Let me know if that makes sense. Just hit the heart button so I know that makes sense. And then we'll crack on with the next bit. So number three is what you need is dietary adherence, okay? So in line with that thing of, you know, right, I've got my calorie deficit, I've got my calories and my macros, I know what I've got to hit, I've got a blueprint that Greg's prepared for me. What's next? Okay, so number 4 on the list is that dietary adherence, okay? Because if you can't stick to it, then how is it going to work? Okay, so comment me if you've ever tried to do a diet and you've given up after 2 weeks. Just comment me if that's ever happened to you. So it's a big phenomenon, right? It's a big thing that happens a lot. So people will say, right, yeah, I'm going to really hit this diet. So how do you stick to the diet? And the thing is, you've got so many things. You've got your social life, you've got birthdays, we've got Christmas coming up. And actually for my clients, I'm thinking that Christmas is actually going to be an awesome time for them to stay in shape and then feel awesome into January going forward. So how will you stay on track with your diet? Okay, so the next thing you want to start looking at is adherence to your diet. Okay, and my goal is for most clients is about 85% adherence to diet. Okay, so we've got calorie deficit, we've got the calories and macros, and then we've got dietary adherence. Okay, because if you don't stick to it, hey Jem, if you don't stick to it, then it's not going to work, is it? Okay, and for most people, about 85% is going to be roughly where they need to be to stay on track. All right, so just let me know if that makes sense. Just got to check something. Yeah, so dietary adherence. Like, here's the thing. All diets, in terms of the branded ones you see out there, all work the same. They all work the same of getting you into a calorie deficit. The issue is you don't understand what is going to be best for you. Some clients are high protein. Some clients can go for a slightly lower carb tolerance because they're not as active. So each of my clients will have an individual blueprint, but that means that they can stick to it, because if I've got someone who is vegetarian, let's say, then I know I need to tweak the macros and the nutrients for them, yeah? And one of the things that people don't really look at nowadays is, well, where's the micronutrients and the macronutrients? So where are your vitamins and minerals? Okay, so if you don't have those in a diet, then you're going to be in health problems, right? Cool. So let me just check that my sound's working. Oh, it's working. It's fine. Cool. So everyone knows what to eat. Everyone knows what to eat. That's not the issue. The issue isn't you ladies knowing what to eat, right? You know you need to eat your greens. You know that you need to eat vegetables probably most meals. You know that you need to have protein, yeah? The big thing is not necessarily the food. And that's the real big challenge, because most of you, it's not that you need to know what the diet is, it's actually you need to know how to stick to it. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Because I think that's the big key for most of you. So, is there a best foods to eat? Well, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. You're going to have some lean protein. in there. That obviously vegetarian or meat or fish sources, that's entirely up to you. Okay, you're gonna have some vegetables. Yeah, you got to eat your greens. Like, you know, and you hear stuff like, oh, don't have too many carrots because of the sugar in them. Well, that's a bit of a myth. Again, and I've talked about this the last time in my talked about blood sugars and stuff, and I mentioned a bit about that. That's going to be individual to everybody, but for the most part, you need to eat your vegetables. Most people need to probably not snack as much, because I think the biggest challenge that you face nowadays is that you snack so much. Like, snacking has become almost acceptable to everybody, right? It's like, yeah, we can just snack as much as we want, and that's not how it works, right? You can't just keep snacking, okay, because you're feeding the body just calories. I mean, who's heard of that thing where they say, oh yeah, you can have, you know, 6 meals a day, small meals, to lose weight? Who said that? Yeah, and I'm sure you've all heard it at some point. To boost your metabolism. Well, no, your metabolism doesn't go up and down just like that because you're having more food. What you need to think about is, well, am I just ingesting more calories because I'm snacking so much? And here's a really big key. If your meals have sufficient calories, can get my words out, sufficient calories, then guess what? You end up snacking less, and then you get better results. Yeah. So if your meals, and this is probably a really big thing for most of you will not eat regularly. Okay. So if you're not eating regularly, you can't listen and hear what's going on with the body, and the body can't say, hey, I'm hungry, because it doesn't know, right? Well, yesterday you had breakfast at 9 o'clock. Yesterday you had, hey, Stacey, you had breakfast at 8 o'clock. You know, the day before you had breakfast at 7 o'clock. So your meals are irregular, yeah? And the body likes regularity. The body loves to have, you know, a nice human approach. Sorry, ladies, I can't see all the comments, so I'm going to just make sure I can read them. Oh, cool, we got them. So, like, ladies, here's a question. Who has breakfast every day? Just comment what time you have breakfast, or just say no brekkie. I'm curious, because this is going to be an important bit. So, Lena's like, yeah, that's me. Random breakfast all the time. Yeah, I see it. So, ladies, just comment and let me know who has breakfast at the same time every day. Who does that? And then you're all going to tell me, oh, yeah, I can't because, you know. Okay, Selena, no. Okay, cool. Gemma, no. So is that you don't have breakfast at all? Or you just don't have it regularly? Because and this is the thing, ladies, like, honestly, the best thing you can do for your dietary adherence, so I mentioned that earlier in the video, is to have meals at regular times. I can't stress this enough. Like, if there's one tip I would get you to say, right, this is what you can do. Get your calendar, because you're busy working women, okay? You're going to get your calendar and you're going to put in when you're going to have lunch. Okay, so Stacey, I do it set weekends. Like, Stacey, your weekend should be no different to your weekdays. That would be my big one for you, number one. I have breakfast, but it's anywhere between 8:30 and 10. So, Gem, honestly, I would get to a stage where you start to have it at the same time. Like, seriously. Like, and then weekends. So, actually, the irregularity of your first meal is a problem. Like, I don't care if you fast or you eat breakfast, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't make a difference to me. But my thing, if I was going to leave one massive tip for all of you, is to eat breakfast at the same time. God damn it. Like, eat breakfast at the same time, ladies. So that's really, really, really important. Sundays only for Lena. Brilliant. So, and then you get to the stage, right, okay, what time is my lunch break, right? Because most of you, again, if you know, either you're working from home or you're working in maybe an office environment, right? If you're working from home, yes, Stacey, I have my breakfast at the same time pretty much most days. Like, most days I have my breakfast, I would say it's probably 90% accurate for when I have my breakfast. 90%, I make sure. So it's not always 100%. Cool, granted. But I have it 90%. For most of you, I guarantee it's probably about 50%. Makes sense, as I found my sleep, my go sleep and wake up times are now the same. It feels weird sleeping. Exactly. I was going to say, so the next thing you want to do then is to really focus on, right, well, it is lunchtime, the same, okay? Am I having the same lunches? So people say, oh, yeah, but I get booked in for meetings and all the rest of it. Go into your calendar now, and it's something I took on a client last week. Her name's Heidi. She's doing awesome. She's a director of a company, right? She's a director, so she's busy. The first thing I made her do on the call, on our first call together, was put her lunch breaks in. So the first thing I did, put your lunch breaks in. Okay, so you know that, right, about 3.5 hours from my first meal, I'm going to eat again. Awesome. Okay, and then what I would do is just make it so that you then have your evening meal at pretty much the same time. Now I get it. Kids have the school clubs and all the rest of it. I totally get it. But if you can, again, make that last meal as regular as possible, guess what? All of a sudden now your body knows when it's going to get food. You can maybe have slightly bigger meals in those meals, and then you won't tempted to snack and pick as much. Because most people, and I'll be honest, most people struggle because of this one secret that people don't tell you. Okay? And if you want to know what the secret is, then comment below and I'll tell you. I'm not going to tell you if you don't want to know it. So let me know if you want to know what the secret thing is. That, and I guess, and even most slimming clubs won't tell you the secret about nutrition. So if you want to know, comment me and I'll tell you what the secret is. You want to know? All right, cool. All right, I'll let you know. So the secret is this, very simply. BLC, okay? I'll say it again. B, the letter B for Bravo, L for Lima, and C for Charlie, yeah? What that is bite, licks, and chews, okay? So I've seen clients tell me, oh, Greg, I don't eat that much, and I've taken a bite of something, yeah? Oh, Greg, I don't eat that much, but they're like licking some sauce. I've seen it happen. Greg, and they just dip into the leftovers from the kids' dinner, which adds an extra 300-400 calories a day. When they track it over a day and actually get serious about it, they go, oh, so BLC, yeah, write that down. BLC is one of your biggest things that you can actually look at when it comes to your nutrition and go, well, yeah, am I bite, licks, and chews? Massive thing for a lot of people, okay? So bite, licks, and chews are a massive issue for ladies wanting to lose weight because it's all subconscious. It's like, oh, let me just have a little nibble at that. Oh, little Johnny has left some dinner. I'll just eat that. Okay. And then I think the next thing after that is then, right, the evening snack. Yeah. The evening snack, I know, I get it. It's a big thing. It's like, oh yeah, because we've all been brought up on, I must have dessert. So that snack later on is literally just you going, oh, I want dessert. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. And actually, it's just a habit. There's no biological need for that. That is just a habit. Okay? So it's like any habit, you can reverse it or you can change it to a lower calorie option. Okay? So yeah. Any nutrition questions, ladies? I think I've covered most of it. Any nutrition questions that you want me to answer? What do you got me for the next couple of minutes? Any nutrition questions that you're confused about, that you've heard recently that you need an answer on? Just hit the love button and let me know, so I know that there's going to be a question coming and I'll answer. But ladies, that's it. Like, when it comes to the foods that I need to know the foods that help me drop a dress size. Number one, have you got your calories in place? I.e., are you at a calorie deficit that is not too low so that you give up, and not too high that you just keep going over your calories? I've seen it before. Okay. Number two, know your macros. Okay, so know the individual macronutrients that you need: protein, fats, carbs. Get those nailed. Get them nailed in the right proportion that suits you, so that you actually stick to your diet. Some people are high fat, some people are lower carb. Doesn't matter. Everyone's slightly different, and that's the massive thing with how I work with my clients. Is I make sure that some people have higher carbs because of just I know culturally I can see what's going to happen. So lower carbs. Number 3, dietary adherence. Like, how often do you actually really stick to the calories that you need to hit? Most of you are going to need to hit your calories 85% of the time to start really making a dent. Simple as that. And the other 15%, by the way, can't be, it can't be a 3,000 calories meal. No. Okay. And I'm not even going to talk about weekend eating yet. I'll do that as another live. So yeah, dietary adherence, 85% of the time, hit your calories. If you can do that, you're in. I do teach my clients a method called calorie banking, which works really well for eating out on weekends and special occasions and stuff. Works really well. So little secret method. Okay. But bite, licks and chews, massive one. Okay. Next one, eat regularly, ladies. Like, seriously, stop jumping from meal to meal, skipping meals. The minute you start skipping meals, it means you're giving up on yourself. Simple as that. Okay. So yeah, there we go. Okay. The best foods to eat to help you lose weight. Okay. Now, I wasn't going to sit there and go, well, you got to eat chicken, got to eat that. No, because that's not going to help anybody, because you already know what to do. The issue for everybody is execution. Okay. So, ladies, unless there's any other questions, I'm going to head out and get ready for my client call. So I hope that was useful. If you've got any questions, comment below. If you're watching this on the replay, hit replay. And yeah, listen, there's no good or bad foods. I want you to erase that from your mind. However, what you need is the right strategy and the right plan in place to make sure that you can get results. Okay, just like Lisa, she's now like under 10 stone. She's getting compliments from her friends through using my Revolution nutrition program. So yeah, if you want help, just reach out, let me know, and we'll have a chat and see if it can help you. All right, cool. Have a great evening, ladies.